5 millimeters high and 1 millimeter thick, and I will carefully place it. Ready? Boom.
And you see here, Silicon Valley Bank is a small bank based out of California that just collapsed. But this could have some type of big contagion that could knock down the banking system, stocks, and ultimately the fiat money system that we know of it today. And this will be the rocket fuel that will make Bitcoin adoption come into our space and come into the new monetary system. And with that, what's happening, crypto crew? Sean's coming back at you, another cryptocurrency video. We have a jam-packed video today, so let's get straight into it. Looking at the technical analysis of Bitcoin. We're showing you Bitcoin versus the US dollar on the daily, and back in November of 2021, we came up here to 69,000 and peaked out. And then since then, we've came down and hit our head once, and haven't really retested it, but we retested it just now, this green line, and look what we did. If we zoom into the price action so you can see a little closer, we came up and we actually retested it once and then twice. Look at this downward resistance here. We put in lower low, and Bitcoin has broken out of this. This is flipping resistance to support and bouncing straight off of it. And if you look at this green line that comes down since the peak of 2019, this box here was a lot of confluence. This acted as support, and then resistance once. And look at, when we came back and retested this green line, this macro resistance, when we came back and flipped it to support, we also tested this box and pogo sticked right off of it. So this is definitely bullish for Bitcoin. And look at the 200-day. This is the bull market support band. We came back and bounced off of that as well. This is this blue line coming down here. So Bitcoin only bounced off this box, the 200-day, and also this macro resistance line. And this is indication that the bull market is going to start, and that we have broke this macro downtrend from the 2021 peak. This is definitely bullish from Bitcoin. At the current time of this recording, we're a little bit below 26,000. We'll see where Bitcoin ends before this day is out. Looking at our super guppy indicator, the daily has already flipped green. Let's look at the 3-day and see what we see. If we zoom into this price action, and it looks like we could be getting ready to flip green soon here on the 3-day, as you see here. If Bitcoin has a continuation over the next week, this will definitely flip green and definitely be bullish, and we could be seeing higher price action. How long will Bitcoin be going to the upside? It's still to be determined. The weekly is still in the EMAs. We haven't flipped that yet, but the higher the time frame, if Bitcoin flips it green, the stronger the move will be. Looking at the Bitcoin dominance, we see some bullishness here too. If you look since the beginning of time, Bitcoin has this downwards trend line that it has respected as support, but also resistance. And if we zoom into where we are right now, it seems to be some type of wedge pattern that is forming. We came down and we've hit our head once, and we bounced off of this and used it as support multiple times when Bitcoin was decreasing in Bitcoin dominance value. But look what just happened. We are breaking out of this right now. Apex is sort of closer down here, but we have to be mindful and take a look and see what we see, make it make sense. But if we just measure from this downward support / resistance to the bottom, and we measure from this breakout, if Bitcoin has a technical target from breaking out of this, if this follows through, now this is still too early to tell. We have to wait and see if we have a continuation. Bitcoin could break out of this and then come back down to retest and flip this to support before coming up to this technical target. That technical target's all the way up to 61.5%. Now, Bitcoin hits this, how long will it take? Well, you see here, the RSI at the bottom has bottomed out back in May of 2021, and it's just been stair-stepping its way up, putting in higher highs and higher lows. But once this gets to the oversold territory, this is all the way till September of 2024. Once Bitcoin breaks down from this, that's when we could see an alt season. Looking back in the charts, the last time Bitcoin had a bottoming structure. So if we look here, we see Bitcoin didn't quite get overbought, but still put in a higher low here. but then got overbought here. Right here was a massive rally for alts. And this is when people diversified towards the end of 2019 going into 2021. As you see down here, this is all the way towards the Bitcoin peak. But if you diversified up here, right here, and ran this rally, this was a major alt season from here to this downwards resistance. So that was from September of 19 to about May of 21, about a year and a half. And right now, it's probably best to stay in Bitcoin because Bitcoin seems that it's going to be trading to the upside at least until towards the end of September, maybe towards the end of Q3, start of Q4 of September, before Bitcoin cools off and alts start to rally. And from TA Trader Allen, the bullish pattern has come to us. We've seen this major wick to the upside, this massive candle. This is a huge indication of bullishness and continuation to the upside. And right here, this is where this happened, this major candle here, and we also see it again. So Bitcoin is going to have some type of continuation. We've broken out of downwards resistance and support. And then another update from Seth_Fin. It'll be harder after each halving to own one whole Bitcoin. So after the next halving, you see where his technical target is. He has it up to about close to 180 to 200,000. Come back down to retest lower levels, potentially that $70,000 peak, before ultimately hitting that 500,000 plus Bitcoin. So definitely seems like it's going to be a lot harder to accumulate one whole Bitcoin. We have an update from Raoul Pal. We haven't heard from him in a while, but he's talking about what's going on with banks and what's going on with this macro environment and how this is extremely bullish for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Let's hear from Raoul.
Well, the market's figured out the issue, which is that even if you underwrite the depositors, the problem still remains. Hence, the CRE index keeps going down, the smaller banks index, the regional banks. So that doesn't stop. And the 2-year treasuries are like, yeah, you've screwed this up, rates are too tight. And that has to get unwound because there's nothing like a banking crisis to tell you where the rates are at the wrong level. I mean, it's classic stuff, right? Never seen a banking crisis without a rate cut, ever in history. So that's what the market's figured out very fast, is that, strip away all of the noise, rates are too high for the banking system to deal with. Look, I first got into Bitcoin in 2013 for this very reason, because I lived the European banking crisis, which is very similar to this. And we realized that nothing we owned in banks was ours. And even if they backstop the system, it backstops it with monetary printing eventually, so that lowers the value of your assets over time. So you're kind of trapped into this. So Bitcoin was the answer that I saw then, and that's why I got into the whole thing at that time. That case is still here. Now, they have guaranteed the deposit base, so it's not as obvious that you're going to lose your money by keeping it in the banking system. So it's not a no-brainer, but the understanding that to offset what they're doing, right, there's always a payment for something here. An eventual payment comes down the line is that it'll end up on the Fed balance sheet, and or monetary easing, and therefore scarce supply assets tend to do better, and so crypto does well. So yes, I mean, it's exactly what it was built for. I mean, don't forget, in the white paper itself was the thing about the governors bailing out the banking system again. These aren't bailouts, but they're still a use of monetary policy to paper over cracks in the banking system, which is still comes down to the one thing, is we have too much debt.